Hello and welcome to Gardening with Grace. I'm Grace Manzer, horticulture agent in Pasquotank County. Today I thought I'd dive a little bit deeper in the world of floriculture by teaching you how to make a boutonniere. So a boutonniere is a small floral arrangement traditionally worn by men on special occasions. And it is the absolute perfect arrangement to dive into teaching how to make personal flowers. So that's where we're going to start today. So I have everything I need in front of me to make a boutonniere. I am going to be making a pink carnation boutonniere. I think that the carnation is a perfect flower for personal flowers, and so that is where we're gonna work with today. So what I'm gonna do, you can see that I've already cut off the whole stem of the carnation. I've just left the flower itself. I've left the calyx. So that doesn't really give us very much to work with. So what I'm gonna do is add a wire stem on here. And basically what I'm gonna use, I have some 24 gauge wire, which is a pretty good size. It's pretty thin, but it has a little bit of stiffness to it. So it's really great for personal flowers. I am just going to stick that right through the calyx all the way through to the other side and pull it out and make sure there's about even amount of wire on either side and pull it down. And there we have a wire stem. And it's really important when we are working with wire is you pretty much want to cover any kind of wire with floral tape, especially if it is on personal flowers. It's something somebody's going to wear. So what I'm going to do is cover this wire stem with this green floral tape, which is a really great tool for florists, but you can see it's a little bit of a pain to use. It can be very frustrating. It can be hard to use even if you've worked with flowers for a really long time. So if you are having trouble with it, just take a break, start over, and you'll get it to work. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this floral tape that sticks to itself, and I am going to wrap it all the way down the stem, this new wire stem that I've created. I'm going to wrap it all the way to the bottom so that all of the exposed wire is covered up by this floral tape. And you get to the end, it's really, really easy to break, so you're just going to rip it right off there. And then I've got a funky little top, so I'm going to go back over it just to make sure that it is all stable. I'm going to go back over the top by the calyx and tighten it down. So now I have this flower with its new wire stem, and that's what I'm going to be starting off with. So the next thing that we're going to add, this is, if we look at our finished product, this is the main part. So we're going to add the backdrop now, which is this greenery. I decided to use inkberry holly as my greenery. I think that it has cute foliage, and it was super easy to just step right outside and cut some off of a bush that I had outside. So it was really, really awesome to use. And I'm just going to pull off the bottom half of the leaves so that I have something to hold on to, something to tape up. You don't really want to have leaves underneath of this floral tape, so I'm just going to pull off about the bottom half and leave the top half up there. And that leaves me with a nice background, a backdrop for my flower. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the tape, and I'm just going to pull them on there, put them right behind the flower, and tape it on. And if you are making your own boutonniere, you'll notice that the tape starts to get easier to use. Once the first set is done, once you've taped the wire, everything else is easier. So once you bear through and get the first part done, the rest of it goes on pretty easy. And so then the next part that we're gonna include is put in some filler flowers, and I chose these white daisies. I think that these white petals with the green centers are a really nice color combination with the greenery and flower that I chose. So that is what we're going to use, and I am going to take my scissors and cut them off pretty short. Inch and a half, maybe 2 inches is all you need to be able to use these on a boutonniere. And I'm just going to take them and place them right up underneath of the bloom of the carnation. And there I have this beautiful boutonniere that matches the other one that I made. And I'm just going to finish it off the same way that I have been doing everything, is just with some floral tape. I'm going to tape the flowers on there. And now it might be hard to hold both stems on there at one time, so if you need to tape them one at a time, that is what it, you do what you gotta do. So we're gonna put them on there, and I'm gonna tape down, or as far as the stems go. And now I have, pretty much almost a finished boutonniere. The last thing that I am going to do is just take the bottom, and I really like to curl it up. You can curl it up on a pin or on something like a pair of scissors. You can take and curl it up so you have a nice little curly cue right here at the bottom. And now you have a beautiful boutonniere that you could use as some personal flowers, and that is traditionally what would be worn by men, and you would use 2 boutonniere pins to attach it right through the stem. You would use those to attach it to a man's lapel. But a traditional pin-on corsage is made very similarly to your boutonniere. And if you wanted to make a corsage that you would pin on rather than a boutonniere, it would be very similar. You could just take and add a bow to the bottom of that, and that would turn that into a corsage. Or you could take 2 boutonnieres, maybe one is slightly larger than the other, and you would attach those in the middle with some floral tape and add a bow there, and that would make a beautiful pin-on corsage. As far as wrist corsages go, that is a completely different beast, and it is a project that I think we're going to tackle in another video. So now you know how to make a boutonniere. Thank you so much for watching Gardening with Grace, and I hope to see you next time.